In the Souls games, you spend souls to level yourself up. You have your support stats like HP, MP, and stamina, along with your more offensive stats like strength, magic, and etc. And it's very recommended to usually hone in on one of those stats. You might level up a separate one just so you can hold a new weapon, or if you're going for a hybrid type build. But in this challenge, for every time I level up, I must spin the wheel and choose what it lands on. I could be a strength and intelligence build, or a faith and luck, or if the wheel subjects me to it, being a filthy dex main, but my stats are 100% gonna be scattered. So can you beat Demon Souls with random stats? Unfortunately, Demon Souls doesn't have a starting class with equal stats across the board, so I just go with the soldier, and I just tried to make him look like that drunk uncle that you're gonna see at a carne asada. And for this run, we're gonna name him Gamblecore.
Let's go gambling!
I also wanted to do the tutorial so we can get some extra materials, so let's go over the rules while I'm doing this. Rule number 1, I must spin the wheel for every level up. I cannot choose a stat to level up. I am bound by what the wheel tells me. And rule number 2, I can't use any of the spice consumables. These things, when you pop them, you can just refill your MP bar whenever you want. So it makes the intelligence stat pretty unnecessary.
What are you doing? You're not the thinker!
So if I ever wanted to just spam magic, my restriction would have just been how quickly I can put these in my mouth. So essentially, to make intelligence more important, I can't refill my MP bar unless I'm at an archstone. They really made someone go hard on these jiggle physics just for this one dude.
You shouldn't be talking about girls like that. They're just trying to get a workout.
There's a guy with the fatty over.
So yeah, to get some extra hardened sharp stones and extra souls right off the bat, we just gotta kill the Vanguard demon. After we die, we get sent to the Nexus, and it's time for us to hit up the first level in Demon Souls. Before we can actually level up, we have to take out the first boss of the level, the Phalanx. So I just book it through a majority of this level, after skillfully dodging this boulder trap.
No, get the camera!
We get the Bastard Sword, and I do want to try to use a variety of weapons during this run since my stats are going to be all over the place. Even this Armored Knight was not much of a problem for me. I go ahead and bomb these dredgelings. Another context, I would have been cancelled. But I open the shortcut and get the Cling Ring to give us a max of 75% HP while in soul form. We go ahead and jump down so we can snatch this Thief Ring, save Otz Darva.
Hello friends, this is Utz.
And for our efforts, he bestows upon us a telescope.
Whoa. This is worthless.
We get a perfect score in bowling. Wrong game. And just a question, does anyone else hate these shield spear dudes as much as I do? The bridge is blocked by a couple common enemies. Nope, that's a dragon, that's a dragon! The dragon follows us to a separate location where we can both get the flame resistance ring and the ring of great strength, which increases equip load, which I need because of how much I'm carrying this world on my back.
Nobody is born cool, except of course.
We can bypass the bridge safely and pull the lever to open the door to the Phalanx. Well, that was rude. I didn't even do anything. Whoever programmed y'all, you need therapy. You really need therapy. We head on into the Phalanx arena, and I'm completely stacked on firebombs, so I just start dropping some heat. The splash damage really thinned out their numbers, so I can just go in with fire resin on my sword, and after killing Phalanx, we can now level up. Returning to the Nexus, the Maiden in Black tells us we gotta go all the way up and speak to the Monumentals. Damn. Average VTuber height. But after all that yapping, we can dust off the wheel as we can finally level up. I sped up the clip so it wouldn't be too long, but our first level is gonna go into endurance. Next one's gonna go into strength. We got a bit of intelligence, even more strength, some dexterity, and we finish it off leveling up endurance again. So honestly, it wasn't even too bad. We got a nice variety, especially with strength, dex, and endurance. The only thing I didn't like was too much the intelligence. Heading into 1-2, I wanted a bit more oomph, so I'm two-handing the Bastard Sword, which just cleaves through these blobs. Oh no, how did you manage to get stuck, Step-Ots? I'm in human form, so if I do die, the world shifts to black tendency. I only make good plays. On top of the first tower sits an enemy protecting a wooden catalyst, which will allow us to actually use spells. I decided to save odds, even though I don't think he'll give us something better than the telescope. Oh. I'll go ahead and save that dub for later. I also have to go ahead and lure these dogs out one at a time because this game has like no poise. You think this is what inspired DS3? In the middle of the bridge, I go ahead and pick up a mail breaker and a spiky shield, which I never use for the rest of the run. So I essentially just did community service and picked up litter. We also go ahead and murk this crystal lizard for some good upgrade materials. It's time to face the Tower Knight and whoa. Can I get some uppies? First step is to just clear out all the archers.
Hey buddy, I think you lost this!
I hit this boss a ridiculous amount of times, and he just refused to fall. And I think it's because of the reach of the weapon often hits the body before hitting the knee. And with fire resin, it's much more noticeable that I deal more damage when I hit the body. But the first time he tumbles, is at around like 25% left HP. After that, it's pretty easy. We just have a few more swings and he's dead. But he decides to get back up even though he has no HP left, so he dies immediately. I guess he just did that to show us he's got that dog in him. But time to move on to the rest of the worlds. Alright, and we're back here for some more wheel action. So for our next levels, we got luck, intelligence, dexterity, and strength. Okay, we're not done. We also got magic, ending it with endurance and magic. Honestly, these aren't bad stats to level up. I'm here to collect some stuff at Island's Edge. I don't have a blunt weapon, but I forgot I could have just used my hands against these skeletons. Taking on 3 skeletons at a time was absolutely devious work. There's a talisman over here to cast future miracles. Behind this red-eyed skeleton is also the Crescent Falchion, a magic damaging curved sword that also slightly regens MP. Opposite side of the Crescent Falchion is the Copper Key, so these dudes are pretty weak to magic. Not only that, I could still use the Falchion in this narrow hallway. The key unlocks Blige as a merchant and he sells sticky white slime. Is he selling me his gooning sesh? Oh yeah, you thought I forgot about you, huh? Just go around the back, smack that bad boy while avoiding the projectiles from the rays above. Yeah, die you bitch. We also get the Adjudicator's Shield for some passive HP regen. I took the normal path through the level. Just do the glitch to skip this level. There's really nothing to look forward to. Alright, now time to get this Crystal Lizard.
Am I not supposed to have what I want?
I also want to get the Regenerator's Ring, which gives us even more passive regen that stacks with the shield. It's time to head into the Adjudicator's Arena. Just swing at that metal, giving him tetanus until he kneels down to reveal the bird. And yeah, just repeat that until it's over. After that, I go ahead and get Enchant Weapon and Soul Arrow to put this catalyst to use.
Magic.
Back to the wheel again, and we get Faith. We also get Faith again. And for the last level, we get Faith. Okay, I get it. The church is really calling me now. I'm actually kind of annoyed that I got Faith 3 times in a row. For right now, we can only have 1 spell at a time, so I equip Enchant Weapon and make the Wing Spear my next weapon of choice. Dude, this weapon has so much reach, and the heavy just erases any distance between me and any target. And in nature of being a spear, I can attack while holding the Adjudicator's shield up. You can't tell me the heavy doesn't look like I'm lunging straight towards his nuts. Wait, how did I even backstab him? He wasn't there.
Help me.
You're also going to want to kill the miners with bags in their hands because they guarantee drop a ton of upgrade materials. And just next up, we got to pull this lever to continue on with the level. Beyond these enemies on the stairs is a shortcut leading to an advanced blacksmith, Blacksmith Ed. And not really many threats through this section of the game, just blast through everything so you can eventually press this lever over here. Okay man, you're going to have to try harder than that. Why did you jump? Before going down, we get a nice offhand weapon, the Crisp Blade. So as long as you're holding this blade in either of your hands, it'll increase your magic damage, but also decrease your magic resistance. I'm gonna put the stats up on the screen. But what I like about Demon Souls is when you're upgrading weapons with effects, you usually also bolster the effects alongside it. So right now we only get an extra 5% extra magic damage, but if you decide to actually upgrade this weapon, that effect will just get much stronger. We go ahead and lube up against the armored spider. Since I'm sure magic goes through that armor, okay, he just decided to lay his nuts out on me. Around the halfway point, they spew oil and ignite it, forcing us to retreat, but it's just rinse and repeat. Run there, lube up, and then end the boss. But I definitely don't feel so ready for the next one. It's the first boss of the level, so we don't get many souls, so we can only roll twice, so we get endurance, and also endurance again. So nothing really defensive or offensive to help with Flamelurker. So I go ahead and switch enchanted weapon with Soul Arrow, so I safely go through the tunnels and jump my way down to the Flamelurker. For me, this dude is one of the most difficult non-gimmick bosses in the whole game. I really wouldn't want to see this dude as my classmate sitting right next to me. I first went ahead with Soul Arrow, but later on I decided to actually use it to finish him off. The real threat are these slam attacks because they always manage to quit me. I'm not the best at timing these, with my panic eventually leading to my automatic death. Flamelurker is much weaker to magic, so I switched to the Crescent Falchion. I let him attack and then run in to actually swipe him. And it looks like the perfect dodge window is right when his hand slams into the ground. And I go ahead and end Flamelurker with Soul Arrows to keep that distance because he becomes much more aggressive at around half HP. Alright, time for, oh shit, this is a certified noob banger right here. I start munching on some souls to get some extra levels. I didn't record the first spin wheel, but on the list to the right, it'll show you that my previous result was luck. Again, we get luck. Alright, some extra HP ain't bad. Working on them forearms with some strength. And even more HP. I'm actually very happy with this roll. Our survivability just went way up. I also was close to another level, so I used even more souls, and it just netted us luck again. Next up is the Dragon God, and I quickly snatch up that Dragon Bone Smasher, literally just a sheet of iron. I swear I was hiding behind the pillars, but he just decided that he saw me. I think the spear was just too slow to destroy the debris, and he just crushes me with his massive grippers. And we make it to the other side and launch this baby his medicine. I'd say the bottom floor is easier to sneak past. On the last obstacle, his fire breath can't even reach us, but we reach the last harpoon and stick it right inside of him. And when he's down here, he can still damage you, so I just decide to pelt him with soul arrows so I don't get hit with that breath. Next couple of levels, we're going with luck. No, oh my god. Add up to our dexterity, and finish it off with some magic. Despite the stats, I really don't feel lucky. I also go ahead and buy protection for a nice whopping 30% damage negation. We go into 4-2 just to meet the Necromancer and use him for his souls. Yeah, I'm just soul farming with this guy. And we use those souls to buy even more Sharpstone so that we can upgrade our next weapon, the Uchi Katana. I wonder what's down here. Patches! It's always the ones you least expect. Saint Urbain is also trapped here by a Black Phantom, so to unlock his strong miracles, we gotta take care of them first. Just be cautious, take it slow, because he's also running an Uchi, and he goes down easily. With Saint Urbain back at the Nexus, I also buy Antidote for the next area. In the Valley of Defilement, keep your shield up because these enemies love an attack that just stun locks you. We collect another weapon for the roster, the Morning Star, and in the shortcut to this level, we also acquire the Blessed Mace, which gives us another regen effect that stacks. The spear gives us good distance to attack these plague rats. Yeah, hit me. I want you to hit me! Alright, it's time for another easy dub against the Leechmonger. I cast protection to not have to worry about the damage he does as I continuously attack. I apply fire to my weapon, and I usually leave Leechmonger for much later in the game because of his regen effect. Usually I just can't keep up with it at lower levels, and with a lot of his attacks just pushing us away, allowing the leeches to chip away at our health, but he was really just a small obstacle to get us to 5-2. They only have enough souls for one spin, and we do get strength. We don't use it now, but I do get the Morningstar up to a nice +5. I also put all my regen stuff to mitigate the poison damage from the swamp. I never fight the enemies in this area because the swamp prevents rolling, and I can usually get by undetected. I only have to put the thief ring on for these last few enemies. And the last area holds a lot of dredgelings that can kill you with the power of gank, so approach with caution. Ladies, there's enough of me to go around. Kick this plank down for the shortcut, and next up on the hit list is the Dirty Colossus. We resin up and he just launches flies in our face.
No! Get out of my skin!
Dodge behind him to get some nice free attacks. And whenever he does his AoE, I just back up and fling some flame tosses at him. It really wasn't that bad. Keep to that advice, and this fight will go just fine. Alright, time to spin the wheel again, honey.
Yes, dear.
Okay, some nice intelligence. I got some ideas for this. They give me luck just to hurt me. A little bit of dex on the side, and even more strength. I actually do have some plans for this intelligence in the future. Alright, Maiden Astrea, it's your time.
Go forth, Galvin. May you be unharmed.
Oh nah, he did not remain unharmed. Just keep parrying and let the Morningstar do the talking. Even if Garl does land a hit, he launches you back, giving you the opportunity to heal. Now, could you imagine having a colossal weapon swung at you and you just parry that? Ironically, I don't think I got Plague in this area because luck levels Plague resistance.
You killed him, didn't you? Very well. I can no longer resist you. Do as you like. Take your precious demon soul.
Oh, we'll meet again. Back to the gambling and we get more strength, extra HP, a little bit of some extra faith, with an extra sprinkle of dex. Honestly, we're looking pretty good for a quality build. I'm doing some prep work, so I go back to 4-2 to get a broken sword, and I give the Searing Demon Soul to the Blacksmith Ed to make boss weapons. With Maiden Astrea's soul, I can turn the broken sword into the Blue Blood sword, which scales off of luck, and it also needs 18 in every other offensive stat. I built up all this expectation and now it's just gone, so I just go to Latria. Even for beginning enemies, these Mind Flayers are tough. From this Iron Maiden, we get the Ring of Magical Sharpness, which will increase our magic attacks while also decreasing our magic defense like the Crisp Blade. I died to this dude and I just put the controller down for the day. Outside are the keys that we need to progress, and oh, a cutscene. Okay, that was not on my bingo card today. I pick up the keys we need to progress and I practice my dodging to skip this whole jail section. And dodging really isn't that bad, it's just more of a rhythm. Yo, how did I fumble that? I go around the long way and deactivate the trap and also collect the souls left on the bridge. There's also a Black Phantom here that's honestly kinda tanky, but they eventually succumb to the bleed. We go up top right to kill this enemy that consistently revives the boss elsewise and get these keys to Sage Frake's cell. And on the opposite side is a silver catalyst that while you're wielding it in your hand, it increases your max MP by 20%. It's weaker than the normal catalyst, so I usually just have it in my hand for the effect. Next up is the Fool's Idol, and nope, I'm not even gonna sniff those bad boys. Kill the common enemies to give yourself space and just wail on the boss until she just decides to disappear. I shoot the clones to force them to disappear to make the run to the real one easier. Remember the runes on the ground to not get paralyzed, and after 3 teleports, the Fool's Idol succumbs to the smackies. Oh, you need 2 of your extra homeboys to even think about scrapping with me. The Uber was free at least. Another day, another wheel, and we only have enough for one spin, and we at least get a little bit more faithful by the end of it. I go back and save Sage Frank from his cell in 3-1. With his freedom, he rewards us with the Jerry Stiletto. This weapon restores MP anytime you hit an enemy with it, so it's basically just free MP regeneration. Leveling this thing up doesn't increase its damage, but rather increases the amount of MP you get from it. And thank the Lord it's not a consumable, because we're going to be regenning all of our MP with this thing from now on. Frake gives extra sorceries for boss souls, but a good amount of them take either 2 memory slots, which we don't have, or some cloud spells that give status effects that don't work against bosses. As we go on ahead, we get the Flamelurker, which is like a great sword that applies bleed. Kill the enemies holding up the chains to the massive heart blocking our way. Go ahead and free Yurt to immediately kill him to protect all the NPCs in the Nexus. But the weird thing is, he did fall, but I never got his souls, and I couldn't find where he dropped his immense drip. Also down here we find a ring called the Fragrant Ring, which passively regens MP when worn. It takes a long time to regenerate a lot of MP, but honestly it's pretty worth it. So I definitely can cast spells more freely, but don't worry, I don't usually stall and wait for my MP bar to refill. Same deal, make it to the next tower and kill the enemies that are keeping this heart up, and now we can make it to the next boss. I also equipped the heal miracle before going up to fight it. I ran in with the baby nail to proc plague on this boss, but I think the internet lied. I don't think any boss can get plague in this game. We didn't even get this first man-eater down to 90% before the other one showed up. Anytime I have distance, I just launch some fire tosses at them, and when I actually do have to fight them, my MP's regenerating in the meanwhile. I know a lot of people don't like this fight, but I actually enjoy dodging both bosses and keeping me on my toes. Okay, he knocked me off. Never mind, this boss sucks. Next attempt, I decided to deal as much damage to the first man-eater before the second one could show up so I can take care of this one quicker. Can't believe I dodged both charges. Eventually the snake on their tails will start biting them, which eventually buffs them, but I use that time to my advantage to deal with one of them at a time. After we take out one of the man-eaters, it's pretty simple from then on there. It's just a piece of cake, and we go past 4-2, and now we have to face the last boss of the area. From that, we can only net one more spin, and we get some extra dexterity out of it. For this last dude, I actually have to face a real player, but well-timed Enchanted Flamberge just annihilates his HP, even able to catch his surprise swing attacks. I also had the honor to fight him without healing, since he wasn't. I don't know if he can during this, but Godzilla, my baby, if you're watching this, you are indeed a worthy opponent. On the next rolls, we get more vigor and even more faith. Not only do we have more HP, but we have 2 miracle memory capacity. I go and get the club from the Dreadwing Merchant to turn it into the meat cleaver using the Adjudicator's soul. Literally one of the strongest boss weapons in the game. It has S scaling in both strength and dex, and A in faith. It can't be upgraded, but honestly that's kind of a bonus, so I don't have to worry about any of the materials. The only thing is we have to two-hand it, but honestly that's worth it. On the journey over to the next boss, I lure these skeletons over to this ledge so I can freely pound them. Inside the cavern there are alien looking dudes that block the path and shoot magic beams, and in my first attempt I died to this one that just reached over and got my cheeks.
I came looking for man's butt.
It's fine, we can usually survive one magic beam. How did I die from that? Where did you come from? Next attempt I fall off trying to get past. Oh wait, the boss arena is just down there. Maybe I can jump down and we can skip both. I'm so lucky both enemies didn't just laser blast me from both directions. Go ahead and kill this Reaper just to make sure none of them respawn. This is where y'all farm the sticky white stuff, huh? Heathens, time to fight for the disabled parking spot. The old hero is blind, so the thief ring just makes us pretty much invisible. There really isn't much commentary for this, just attack him, and when he's not attacking you, just go after him again. I don't have much for this. We can level up quite a few times, so first we get magic, extra strength, more dexterity, and even more vigor. This was a perfect lineup of spins. Oh, the Storm King is about to meet their match right now. I use both the Thief Ring and the Cloak spell to reduce aggro range and just make a safe trek to the Storm Ruler. I pick off all these manta rays as if they were like hatching sea turtles. Wait until we can even attack the Storm King. Ow! But the Storm King is just another gimmick boss, so I just wait until it returns, and we just took out another Archdemon. With the Storm King soul, we get anti-magic field. For the next spins, we get magic, strength, more magic, and extra vigor. I really wanted the Insanity Catalyst to boost our magic damage, but it needs 16 magic. I go and take out some fat officials to get some other fat official clothing. With one Archdemon defeated, we can actually go forward and go into 1-3. So because of my upgraded artillery, I just start firing a bunch of magic spells at everyone in this level, because I can just refill my MP bar by using the Jerry Stiletto on a basic enemy. There's a Red-Eyed Knight blocking a merchant I really want, but he can't handle the crushing weight of the meat cleaver. He can't take 2 of them. So up at the merchant, I get the Knight Sword, which is just a more damaging long sword, and give it the quality affinity so it scales off of both strength and dexterity up to a nice +4. And these fat officials during the end game are hitting hard with their fire. Even the assassin dudes, you had the poise to tank through my attacks, you come on bro, I know how to handle balls. I've been playing with the homies for a while. Oh. While I usually have a full MP bar, these knights are just not a problem since I snipe them down with range. And I find out that stiletto is a thrusting weapon, so I can actually use it while blocking behind a shield, making me safer. Right now, Otz is also in trouble, so we gotta take out this fat official and the 2 knights that are on his ass. And by helping him, we get a pure clear stone to level up a quality weapon up to +5. These are knights with spears, so I decided to start luring them out one at a time. And even that didn't work. He got like 4 hits off in a second. It's a little risky, but I decided to run past all of them with the shield up, but luckily I don't get hit during all this. Oh god, we gotta face another fat official. Oh, I was worried. Thank you for doing that. I didn't want to face this dude. The Penetrator is another one-on-one fight, but honestly, he's pretty easy to react to. The only difficult thing is his grab, because that insta-kills me in my current state. But I could still 1v1 him. The only thing I had to make sure is to roll out of the way so he could never grab me with his range. And fighting him head on was the play, because our magic spells do like no damage to him. We almost did fumble it on the second attempt, especially because of this grab attempt. But we take out the Penetrator, and there's only one more big boss that we have to worry about now. We got 3 more spins we can do, and the next level is luck. Next one is also luck, and we finish it off with some intelligence. But increasing my MP will allow me to use one of the most overpowered miracles in the game. Not yet, but I do decide to equip Anti-Magic Field and open this door back in 1-2. I never used this miracle, but I wanted to test it out to see if it will block any fire spells on this fat official, and yup, it really does. This dude drops the Bloody Iron Key to save Uria. In the tower to save Uria, we also get the Ring of Magical Nature, which gives us another spell memory slot so we can use better spells. And after talking to her, she will arrive in the Nexus. The bad thing is most spells that she can give you require 3 memory slots, and Relief is pretty much useless, so I just go with Ignite. I also get God's Wrath from Saint Urbain, and I forgot how to pronounce his name, but we talked to this NPC with the Dragon Bone Smasher to complete his quest, but we honestly didn't have to since I don't need the item he gives us. And to shift the world closer to Black World Tendency, I use God's Wrath and kill him because I need something from Black World Tendency. In Black World Tendency, he is a red phantom, so with Anti-Magic Field, I bring it in because without it, his fire spells are gonna hit like a truck. And we can prevent him from using any fire spells, but we can't prevent how little damage our sword does. But after this backstab, an idea pops in my head. See, he can't cast any spells, but he'll still try to, and that's a perfect opportunity for a backstab. The most dangerous part is when we run out of Anti-Magic Field, so we gotta find safe times to reapply it. So just keep on backstabbing him and stick close to him because he does also have a heal miracle, and I don't want to be in this fight any longer than I have to be. And he drops the Talisman of Beasts, which is a talisman that can both cast spells and miracles and scale off of both of them. But it needs 18 in both magic and faith. That was also another bust, but with the pure clear stone, I bring my quality knight sword to +5, and I also bring a steel shield up to +6. I also get second chance from Saint Urbain to keep me from dying. I don't have the max MP to use it, but with the silver catalyst in my hand, I can start to level with more than 100 MP and then be able to cast it and then put away the silver catalyst. And I like my combo because I have the knight sword, but anyone that's directly in my face, I ignite them. And with this combo, we also take on Longbow Ulan, I think that's what her name is, the Phalanx lady. Me and the Tower Knight guy were just staring each other down, but anytime we tried to do this like heavy attack, he opened that booty up wide for us. Since this is the last boss, I decided to consume all the souls that I kept, and this gets us like 12 spins. Alright, this is a lot coming up. So the first one's intelligence, next up is magic, after that is some extra HP, then some extra endurance, some very useful luck, more faith, more magic which will help with ignite, extra strength, even more strength, more magic, more endurance, and finish it off with some extra magic. We actually got a little bit of everything except dexterity. With the ring, I have 3 memory slots, so I decide to keep ignite and enchant weapon. Continue with this little stair area, and make sure that this dragon kills the fat official on the bridge so he doesn't block my way, and we actually make it to the other side unscathed. Get the shortcut in case I fumble, and Bjorn is just up here tanking the fire. He can't even fight the dragon. He's just tanking it for no reason. He's got that dog in him. Also up here we see Otz for the last time because he succumbs to his wounds after fighting his father. And I don't mean to be rude, dude, but you were a much better fighter when you died and became a Black Phantom. And he was definitely tougher, but he was no match to our enchanted quality Knight Sword. And for the fight, so I don't lose, I get my body restored. I still can't believe this elevator takes like 50 seconds to the boss. But it's time for the last fight with old King Allant. Is he just aura farming over his destroyed kingdom? So the Knight Sword is very good for staggering him up close. Ignite is great whenever he's doing this charge attack and I can hit him for 219. And the shield blocks a lot of attacks that would usually clip me.
I beg your pardon?
I also forgot to tell you, but I got second chance, which revived me once during the fight. And if I ever don't feel like I can disrupt this big AoE, I just go back and enchant my Knight Sword. And honestly, it's really strong. It adds up to a lot of extra damage. Also, this one grab will actually drain a level from me if it lands. So the question is, if I get that level back and then go back to the Nexus and level up, do I have to spin the wheel again? And it was a tough fight, but in the end, we take out old King Allant. I go ahead and get Demon Brant from the mausoleum, and once returning to this Nexus, this big sword just crashes through the floor, which the Maiden in Black forces us to fall down in. And as we land, we wake up and find pretty much the last area of the game, the old one. As the final boss, old King Allant is in here. He's not really a boss fight, he's just pathetic. He's slow, he doesn't really do any damage at all, and with his defeat we can finally move on to the ending. But right now we are free from the Nexus, and the Maiden in Black will take charge and put the old one to sleep. But if we want, we can also take the power for ourselves, or we can leave and give this world peace. I don't know what to choose. This is a really hard decision to make. Spin that wheel, baby! The wheel has spoken, and we're going to be taking this power for ourselves. This world is going to go into absolute chaos, but just remember, it wasn't my choice. That was up to the wheel. Everything was. If you guys stuck around for the whole video, I really appreciate that. This isn't the first time I've done this run. I've actually done Demon Souls before, I just never made a video out of it. I decided to redo this challenge and make a video out of it out of seeing Eliam Lois, I think that's how I pronounce it. I saw her spin the wheel challenge videos and I'm like, you know what? I kind of liked when I did this the first time, let me do it again. And I also really like the idea of this challenge because it's not going to be the same for everybody due to how random it is. Like if someone does the same challenge, maybe they won't level luck as much as I had to. But again, it was really fun and I haven't really done any challenge runs before. So this will kind of be like my first one, at least the first one I'm uploading. So if you guys want more, I could do either a different challenge run or I can just do this same one but on Dark Souls 1 and see how that goes. Because yeah, what I like about this challenge is when the stats are scattered, I really feel like trying everything at my disposal. So yeah, just throw out a suggestion down below. And before I go, I just want to say, whoever you are and whoever's watching this, you are loved. Times are definitely getting tough, So we just gotta hold on to one another. If you don't see it, just know that you add value to this world. And if you're working on yourself, do something productive today. Show yourself that love. You deserve it. Again, thank you guys for watching, and take care of yourselves. Peace.